Well, guys, it was bound to happen. Came up to fire up the old grill, make some classic chicken in a bag. Found my grill on a different part of the roof. I'm thinking, grill's stolen. I made the stupid mistake of then calling the landlord and saying, hey, where's my grill? And they were like, oh, didn't know you lost your grill. Apparently somebody came by to check the AC units, saw my grill, put it on a different side. So I could be in a lot of trouble for this show, but I want you to know, I'm going to do a full cleanup tonight. I'm going to make sure everything is gone, out of the way, ready to rock next time we get everything sorted and ready. This show will not die. I will not allow this show to die. And if you're new to the show, it's me, it's Alec. Hi. I'm going full-blown, I'm going full-blown dad fit today. How are you? And this is kind of the week I've been having. I'm going to be real with you. Before I get going, I want to give a shout out to Tao, who met me up in Portland. She went to the show, and she came from Alaska, I suppose. Well, she was moving there anyway, but she got one of my Christmas cards that I did a while back. So shout out to you. Also, shout out to Todd. Shout out to Todd from Seattle for coming to the show and being a fan since back when I was doing Transplants the Podcast. A young lad like himself from the East Coast moving to a brand new city out west. So good on you, man. Hope everything works out for you. And here we are. We're grilling on the roof. We're doing it again. They can never stop me. I want to give a shout out to everybody who came out to my shows out in Seattle and Portland. They were so much damn fun. And I can't wait to go back. The PNW is somewhere where I need to be every summer. I mean, we had a 4:30 show, which, they give all the huge headliners the 4:30 show. It's like me, Sebastian Maniscalco, Matt Wright. Like, we all do 4:30 shows. That's kind of like me, Nikki Glazer. We all do 4:30. That's the move. Did the 4:30 show and popped out immediately to the bar. Went to this place called Paymaster. Got a fucking fat smash burger. Cut two. I'm just gobbling mushroom gummies. I couldn't have been stopped. I had maybe the record of most Rainier beers. By the way, regional beer ranking. Let's do a top three. Narragansetts in Rhode Island, New England area. Narragansetts, Rainiers, PNW, Lone Star in Texas. That's definitive right there. Yingling, don't give me that shit. Don't care. Okay? That being said, had such a great time, and we ended up at a place called the Garden Party, which was it was a legit, random house party up in the hills of Portland. I don't even know how we got there, but my God, were we the latest people there. Everybody else had already been partying, watching the bands, and then we just showed up hi, how's it going? I just kept slapping the barrel all night. Had a great time, though. And, flew back the next day. Overall, just what a time. Shout out to Austin Black, who opened for me. If you saw my shows, that was the guy that was crushing before me and kept trying to sell his comic books after the show. So give Austin Black a follow if you can. I won't lie to you, I have a bit of money problems right now. Just squeeze, I'm having to dip into my savings for the essentials. Just rent, insurance, men's league hockey dues. We're getting new jerseys this year, so I'm going to get the new jersey. I'm not going to call my dad please, I really want to be Dr. Schlong. I was thinking about getting back into sports gambling. Sports gambling is, I think I've said this before, but sports gambling is just astrology for men. People come after astrology, they go, oh, you let the stars affect your mood? It's like, buddy, you lose a parlay, make it everybody's problem. It does concern me how prevalent sports gambling has become and the ease of it. Sports gambling truly is it's like dude heroin. I mean, all it is that little screen you're looking at and you're just going, all you're doing is looking at that little screen like, oh, come on, dude. Bet on the Korean baseball. You played JV in high school. You know the game. It's just a different language. Cut to $2,000 later, you're down. You're like, I got Sunday night football, though. It's really bad, man. And I worry about like how easy it is separating young people for their money just in little shit like that. You know, remember when we were kids and like there would be the pay for games? I bet like there were so many kids probably that got like scammed their parents' credit card into just paying way more money than they should for like random tokens on Webkins or some dumb shit like that. But this is like real money that you need for your savings and you're just going to gamble it all. And by the way, this whole position of mine comes from a place of like jealousy in a way, because I wish I knew how to gamble. It seems so fun. Every time I try and gamble, I lose not exorbitant, but like I just lose. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I make shit up to believe in my own mind, where I just go, yeah, home team, you got to give them an extra 3 points. The home team always gets an extra 3 points. Like that means it's like, oh, you know, they're on fire when they wear red this season. I know nothing. None of that means anything to anybody. And I've lived in California now for like a whole ass year, and there is no legalized sports gambling. This is, I think, the last place to not have it legal. I think maybe people just don't care, or there's like no need for it. I don't know. I mean, they probably have more important things to do. Like, I think people check variety more than they do DraftKings, but yet every time I watch a sporting event, it is just nonstop DraftKings, FanDuel, Caesars Sportsbook, shoved down my gullet at a rate that the likes of which I've never been seen before. All right, I don't care that you can same game parlay. By the way, the word parlay, I don't think has ever been used in modern parlance more than it is nowadays. Like, I mean, maybe you could harken back to the times of King Henry VIII, chopping people's heads off like, parlay her head into my next wife. I'm sick of that word. Stop talking about parlays. They're not going to hit. Just shut up. I knew the gambling that I grew up with, okay? If you really wanted to gamble, you made it a priority in your life. You had a bookie. You had numbers. You had a weird offshore betting site that you went to. You ever, like, watch a game with the kid who's the bookie in your crew? Oh, my God. The most annoying thing in the entire world. It's just nonstop a guy going, come on! Come on! Like, 3.5, you can't get the extra point! I'm like, hey, can we just relax? It's preseason. I hope I don't get in trouble for doing this on the roof, man. And we already had like a bunch of scandals of players like throwing games for money or taking side bets. That's going to keep happening more and more now. What do you think is going to happen when all these college football players get paid? All right, like someone who plays at, you know, Perkins School for the Blind, when they play Alabama inevitably on their one soft schedule game, like they're going to say, all right, well, I could lose by 50 or I could lose by 100 and make 20 grand. Because that's all it's going to take. It's going to be a battle. Like, these kids are 18. They're just going to say, all my friends or everyone who I see in the sport is getting paid exorbitant amounts of money. Meanwhile, like, I'm not getting shit for any of my stuff. So why not just work with this gambler and get paid? I don't know, man. I don't know why I'm like so angry about it, but I'm just so sick of seeing it in all the sports that I watch. You don't need to gamble on anything. Just watch the game or don't. It's also like a social aspect. All these people I feel left out when I'm out at the bar and my friends are gambling on stuff. It does look fun. So then it gets other people to join in, but to a certain degree, it's like, what? I don't know what I'm doing. I'd rather just like not spend any of the less money that I already have. Yeah, I don't really know what other points I had to make about that, but I do firmly believe that we need to like just harken it back. I just don't want to see DraftKings stuff, okay? Just leave me alone with the same game parlay. I've had enough. think it needs a little longer. Yeah, it needs longer. My roommate's girlfriend patronizes me quite a bit. And I think that's just kind of what girlfriends do when they go into a roommate situation with a guy they like. But she's like 5 years younger than me, and she like does essentially toddler voice. She comes in the living room while I'm playing video games, and she'll just go, "Oh, is this a football game? Are you winning?" And I play into it. I'm like a 5-year-old. I'm just like, yeah. I'm playing a dynasty mode, and we're going for another championship. It's kind of a double-edged sword you have to walk as the partner of the roommate, where, you know, you don't want to be cold. You don't want to come off as mean and unsusceptible, but you also don't want to, like, need to have a conversation with every like, Neanderthal like me, where you're like, wow, 12 beers last night. Very cool. I'll take the patronizing person any day over, like, the woman that comes in and, like, piles on top of the mess that already is happening with living with a bunch of guys. Like, it's just, hey, you got to come in, you got to make dinner for everybody, not clean up, you're making drinks, and it's all left there, and we're like, what the fuck's happening? I can't make my bag of chicken right now. Because I'm seeing somebody right now, and, like, she won't even sleep over because I have roommates, you know? Which makes a lot of sense, you know? I make quite a few noises in the bedroom. I'm just, you know, I'm usually in there just like, my hamstring, or something like that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but it's a little, you get to a certain age where, like, if you're really serious with somebody, you gotta get your own place, you know? I know friends that are, like, living with engaged people. I lived with an engaged couple, and it's just a weird dynamic. You have too much of a view into somebody's relationship that you just shouldn't. I think those are almost done. And, like, a couple in one situation like that, you can almost feel like they gang up and they can have, like, a consensus or a majority against any sort of decisions you're making. It's a tough look. I mean, I feel like the fiance hated me at one point. I mean, one day I was leaving, she goes, "Bye, Alec. Have fun doing whatever you do all day." I'm like, rude. All right, I'm over here making 14 different synonyms for cum. What are you doing? I don't know. They also, like, one day they were just like, "Oh, do you like anime?" And I'm like, "No, it's for fucking geeks," as they were watching anime. It is for geeks, though. I'm watching right now 3 different shows. I'm watching Industry, King of the Hill, and HBO Hard Knocks. I think we already know what HBO Hard Knocks is. It is watching potentially one of the worst teams in the NFL in their training camp. It gets me geared up every year for football. But the show that's back that I'm stoked about is Industry. If you haven't watched this, it's pretty much if Succession was a softcore porno. It follows, like, this group of people that work in an investment bank, which is, like, something I always thought I was going to do at some point, even though I had no idea what investment banking was. But that's just like every other man my age. We always thought we'd go into finance because we had a business degree. Means nothing to anybody. Anyway, yeah, this show is absolutely crazy. If you, it's like set in London. I don't even know how to describe it. Sometimes I describe shows that I like to people, and I watch as their face, like, goes, "Oh." I watch as their face just goes, "Oh, yeah. Yeah." And I'm like, oh, wait, am I an idiot? Am I a moron? I get so afraid to tell people what shows I like because I'm afraid they're going to go, "Oh, yeah, I tried to watch that. It's for morons." But I don't know. I like it. Maybe it is for morons because it gets me horny and gets me thinking about stocks. The other one I do love is King of the Hill. And I got to say this about King of the Hill, and I will die on this hill. It is the best animated cartoon. And I'll give you one reason. It's so flippin' wholesome. So wholesome. Very rarely do you get a cartoon in this day and age that's just all about family values, about learning something at the end of the day, about a man who loves propane almost as much as I do. And that's really what the message is about. It's about a young boy trying to go through puberty. Not everybody's, crushing it. And yet Hank Hill always finds a way to find the good in a situation. So, King of the Hill, those are my 3 wrecks right now. I don't really know how to deal. I mean, money insecurity is like kind of a crazy thing for my age. But also it's not. I've been saying this on stage a lot. People my age, it's hard for us to like accumulate money unless we're like making all the right financial steps. I think most of us are not doing as well as we had hoped we'd be at this point. I mean, I'm 27. You know, I'm dipping into my savings still. When am I going to be able to retire? Who fucking knows? I'm going up to San Luis Obispo tomorrow with my lady. This is like our first trip, really. And, you know, Ernest Hemingway always wrote that, you know, don't take trips with people you don't love. And I say, take trips with people you like and you're dating so you can find out if you love them. It's a bad strategy. I really don't think it hasn't worked out before, so. You ever have that? You ever have like somebody come out to meet you and then it turns into like the saddest thing ever? My ex like came, I remember, to LA right when I had just moved here, and we got matching tattoos. I got a Jaguar because I used to call her the Jag, and I got a Jaguar because I used to call her the Jag, and she just got a lamp because I don't know. I think she just forgot to pick one out. So, yeah, she was really into me. You could tell. See how this chicken's doing. If you guys enjoy the show, I would really recommend that you rate us very highly, leave a comment, subscribe, whatever you guys want. You know, I'm going to have more road dates coming up soon. I don't really know when. That's kind of giving me a lot of anxiety. And I'm going to be announcing some cool stuff in November. Boston, keep an eye out. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm out here grinding. This is like the dog days. We're in the middle of the dog days. I'm on my roof. People have found out about the grill. And it's really, it's making me nervous. Because I'm going to have to take this entire setup right here. And I'm going to have to really big man it all the way down back into my apartment. Which is going to be such a pain in the ass. And I can't even explain to you. But, you know, that's what it is. End of the day, this is being a comedian. I hope everybody's liked all the episodes that we've had so far. Final thoughts. You know, I'm very lucky and I'm very fortunate. And I got to remember that sometimes. Because even though if I might not have, you know, financial stability or, you know, a love for gambling like some of my friends do, I got my own life. And I'm enjoying it to the best that I can. So, yeah, you know what? Oh, you know what? We should do comments. Here's what I'm going to pose. For the next solo episode, I would love if everybody could leave a comment, leave a question, or something you want me to answer, and we'll answer it live right here at the grill. So it'd almost feel like you're here grilling with me. I would love that. And you can leave one right in the Spotify link, or you can I'll just look at the YouTube comments. Comment on YouTube below a question you want me to answer for here on the grill. Oh, fuck. And we'll get it popping off. That being said, I don't gamble, but take the Patriots under 4 wins this year. It's going to be a train wreck. You heard it from me first, so. All right, guys. Love you all. Bye.